It's a Saturday matinee in the Music City featuring women's Atlantic Sun Conference basketball as Lipscomb University hosts Florida Gulf Coast University as you watch the ASUN on ESPN+. Hello, everyone. Jonathan Seaman alongside my son Justin here courtside. Alan Rain on the campus of Lipscomb University. Well, the number to think about today is 37. Will this be the 37th straight time that the Eagles have beaten the Bisons?
Yeah, no sugarcoating it at all. It's complete dominance for FGCU against Lipscomb, but it's a new day. It's a new Florida Gulf Coast team, new coach this year. A lot of those wins came under Carl Smesko. He left last year, interim coach was in, and then Florida Gulf Coast with the new head coach this year. But Florida Gulf Coast still starting out dominant again. They played a tough non-conference schedule. They're 3-0 to start ASUN play. Lipscomb would love to find a way to get an upset over Florida Gulf Coast and get their first ever victory against the Eagles.
Well, Lipscomb's down another player. They only have 8 for today. R.J. Taylor, the other member of our staff, got a chance to talk with head coach Lauren Sumsky.
Thanks, Jonathan. Coach, a convincing win powered by a fast start Thursday. How does that continue here today?
I think what separated us in that first half, last game, is we took care of the ball. We only had 3 turnovers. And then we got a little sloppy there in the second half versus pressure. We just have to continue to grow in attacking pressure and taking care of the ball. But also I think our defense and our rebounding really made a big difference for us too.
Impressive performance from Taylor Bowen, a double-double in that game. What impressive qualities does she have?
We kind of knew she'd have that game circled, and we just needed her to step up and have a big senior moment and take advantage of some of the Stetson's weaknesses defensively. And she did a great job there, just being physical. She did a great job defensively and rebounding as well. And just being able to slide her through most positions has been really huge for our program this year.
For FGCU, what challenges do they bring to the table today?
They're athletic, they're physical, they have a couple guards who can create their own shots at different places, and they just really get up the floor quickly. So we're going to have to do a really great job of transition defense. We're going to be really active in our gaps, force them to take the shots that we want, keep them off the glass, and again, always taking care of the ball for sure.
All right, Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Jonathan?
Let's take a look at some of the key players tonight. First for Florida Gulf Coast, Sinai Douglas, a transfer from Michigan State. She leads the team in scoring, coming off a career-high 24 points against Austin Peay. Also had a career-high 6 3-pointers in that game. She's going to be a tough challenge for the Bisons today. On the other side, it's the unquestioned leader for Lipscomb, Molly Hurd. She's the leader for the Bisons in points, assists, and steals. She's going to have to do a lot of ball handling today with the Bisons down their normal starter in the backcourt, Elena Bertrand, who is now out for the year with injury.
Dawn Marshall put it in the air, and the tip is up and controlled by the Eagles, and we are underway. Saturday matinee time. ASUN women's basketball from the Music City here in Nashville, Tennessee. And the Eagles coming off of a win over Austin Peay. The Bisons coming in after a win on Thursday night over Stetson. And down low, taking the ball in was Staten, and the foul will be called on Molly Hurd.
Really good job initially defensively creating that double team there. Lipscomb almost had a turnover and then moved into a foul situation. Now, this is a game, you got to knock on wood, but you would think this is going to be a low foul game. These are the top 2 teams in the ASUN as far as committing fouls. Lipscomb only commits about 14 fouls per game. Florida Gulf Coast only commits about 15.4 fouls per game, and that's historically, over the past 3 years, these 2 teams have been low foul teams.
I told Leighton Jackson, who wrote that, we're going to knock on wood either way, whether we have that or not have it, and I'm crediting him with pulling that stat out of the woodwork, so to speak. The other 2 officials working the game, Shane Bennett and Phoebe Smith. Must say that Leighton does a great job in getting us information concerning the Bisons getting set for these broadcasts, as a steal is made there by FGCU after both the free throws went in, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Eagles.
Turnover by the Bisons, and that's what we're going to be monitoring. Again, Elena Bertrand, Lipscomb's really only true point guard on the roster this year. She was injured in the game, late in the game against Stetson, and unfortunately it ends up being a season-ending injury. So Lipscomb is going to be playing the rest of the year without a true point guard. It's going to be point guard by committee.
Yes, I talked to associate head coach Chris Sumsky, the husband of Lauren Sumsky. He said it's going to be by committee. We'll see different people stepping out and taking that lead. I'm sure there'll be some other offensive sets that they've made changes on as Taylor Bowen working inside, kicks it back to Taylor. Put that one up for Miller. Michaela Miller gets it up and good. Put it in the book for her.
Yeah, just kind of had to force one up there. She was wide open underneath, and Bowen just couldn't find her, but then she had to slip out behind the three-point line, and Lipscomb gets bailed out by a nice shot by Michaela Miller. She had a buzzer beater in the Thursday night game against Stetson from the corner.
Here's a three on the way. This one drops to the net. Put it in the book there for Nay Staten, the New Jersey native, as she gets that three and gives the Eagles a 4-point lead out on top 7-3.
Best percentage-wise three-pointer for the Eagles this year. Now 13 for 30 from downtown, over 42%.
Miller in the paint, spinning, turning, baseline, gets it.
Miller already now with 5 points, all of Lipscomb's points. One thing for this Bison's team, they do a lot of one-on-one action. Not a lot of assists coming from this Lipscomb team. They're 10th in the ASUN in assists. Most of their action is going to be spreading the floor and letting the matchup dictate who's going to take the shot.
Douglas's three off the mark. As a team, the Eagles have shot 84 and hit 84 coming in, as Lipscomb will turn it over again and now hit on 291. They're shooting about 29% from three-point land coming into the game today. They've got the ball after another Lipscomb turnover. Into the corner for a three attempt. This one is up and good by Douglas. Put it in the book for her 20th made of the year, the Toledo, Ohio native.
Make her 7 for 7 from three-point land on this road trip, because she was 6 for 6 from three-point land on Thursday night in the win against Austin P. A career high for her, 24 points and a career high 6 made threes.
Lipscomb missed on the shot at one end and then a travel at the other end, and so that turnover is going to give it to the Bisons. Eagles got it doubled up on Lipscomb, leading it by 5, 10-5 as we approach the midway point of this first quarter. Hurd works the point this time across the line. It'll take some adjustment for Lipscomb to do. They're down to, boy, losing a third of their team with injuries and other reasons, as the missed shot there by Miller will get it quickly to the other end, and a three on the way, and another one in the book, and that'll force a timeout by Coach Lauren Zumsky. 3 out of 4 now for the Eagles, as Gordon puts that one in the book. We'll take a break with them in Nashville. It's a 13-5 lead by FGCU.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
At Stephen & Associates, we're here to help you create a personalized wealth strategy so that you can maximize your wealth and enjoy life. Located in the heart of Nashville, our associates are experts in designing personalized wealth strategies for individuals, families, and businesses located anywhere in the United States. Take the first step in building your financial success by visiting our website at snawealth.com. Stephen & Associates is a proud sponsor of Lipscomb University and Lipscomb Athletics.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get it done.
What are you gonna get done? Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are two regular guys, part of our community, just like you. Step into the Diamond District and you'll see this is their passion, their life.
We offer a vast selection of GIA certified diamonds, engagement rings, exquisite fine jewelry, pre-owned Rolex watches, and more.
Our non-commissioned sales team, who most of them have been with us over a decade, are here to help you, not sell you.
Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At Elite Sports Medicine, we do a lot of sports medicine, but in our mind, sports medicine is life.
We have patients of all ages, honestly, as young as 10, 11, 12.
So you come to us with a problem that you can't do the things you like to do, and our job is to find a solution.
Everything we do is geared towards taking care of the patient.
I think what really makes Elite different is that we have got the very best people we could find anywhere. I like my people to do good, and I just want to give them the very best care they could get anywhere in the world.
A 6-0 run forced a timeout there as Florida Gulf Coast now leads at 13-5 by Coach Sumsky. Let's take a look at this series history, Justin. Wow, they're meeting for the 37th time, and the past 36 have all gone in the win column for Florida Gulf Coast. Lipscomb has never defeated them since they were both in the A-Sun.
And to even further the dominance, there hasn't been a game that's even been in single digits. The closest game Lipscomb ever came was within 11. That was back in 2011. Now, last year was the second closest. They lost by 13 down at FGCU. Played a lot of games down there because some of the tournament games have been at FGCU. 0-15 all time here in Allen Arena. And the thing to me, if you look at the average score for the Bisons as that shot missed, Lipscomb's only averaging 51 points a game against Florida Gulf Coast in all those 36 games.
As Lipscomb continues to attack, let's check in with R.J. Taylor. R.J.
Yeah, offensively for Lipscomb, I was in the huddle with Coach Sumsky and company. She emphasized some openings down low. She wants her team to cut, post up, be aggressive down low. She thinks they missed some chances at baskets earlier. And then defensively, she wants to see more aggression, a couple of open looks from Florida Gulf Coast because Lipscomb didn't switch. Jonathan?
Thank you, R.J. Well, they got that inside bucket by Miller. Now they're trying to put the defense on, and they do. And shot missed by the Eagles. So here come the Bisons on the run. Again, they try to go inside. Hope counts with it. So we got a 3-second call on her. She made a good move in the paint, then kicked it out, but didn't get out of the paint. She'll check out of the ball game now. As coming in will be Marius Cerlini.
And I just think Hope counts, and she looks a little gimpy after that coming out. She's going over towards the training table. I just think she needs to try to call her number a little bit more herself. And I think right there, I think sometimes she just needs to get the ball sometimes and just be aggressive and go to the basket.
That is not what Lipscomb needs. It's another player on the training table. They're down to 8 players dressed to play today, and then we'll have to see what happens to Hope Counts.
Well, she's already taken off one of her shoes, so it looks like it may be an ankle situation.
Could be a retape. We'll wait and see as the ball is blocked away, but a foul also called. It's going to be on Eve Alexander, the sophomore, transferred in from Florida A&M. As to the line is going to go. We got a player checking in across the way before they shoot the free throw, as Roll will check in, and Molly Hurd will be at the line. Molly is a 58% free throw shooter, averaging just over 13 points a game. Against Stetson the other night, she had 13 points as she connects on this first free throw. You know, one of the struggles that Lipscomb's had at the free throw line has come from Molly Hurd, graduate playing in her last year, and then from Taylor Bowen, graduate. And Taylor really suffered at the line the other night against Stetson.
It's strange to see two of your seniors who have kind of struggled the most at the free throw line.
But Molly gets both of those.
Taylor Bowen coming off of, really, I think her best game, maybe even of her career. She tied a career high with 18 points, and I think she had 14 rebounds, a career high against Stetson.
A great double-double for her. Miller spins inside but can't do anything, so she kicks it back out top. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Here's Miller for 3. This one misses off to the right. And the rebound quickly. Here come the Eagles. They'll push it down to Alexander. Then she'll kick it out onto the wing for a 3. It's off the mark, but a great rebound there by Alexander to get it back to Douglas, and now Douglas on the wing with it. Good in-out play by the Eagles. The three won't go, and battling into the corner, they make the save as the ball was getting deep into the corner. And Miller went flying over the head of one of the Eagles, and that will send Alexander to the line with a chance for a three-point play. Watch this defensively.
Yeah, just too many chances on goal that time by Florida Gulf Coast. You got to get the rebound, and that's something I thought Lipscomb did a great job against Stetson on Thursday night. They limited Stetson to really just one shot on goal. They really did a good job cleaning up the glass. And
you usually get in trouble when a team gets like four shots. And the free throw is good by Alexander, who is an 86% free throw shooter, and makes it now an 8-point lead.
And one thing, obviously, Florida Gulf Coast, understanding the scouting report on Lipscomb, they're full court pressing Lipscomb this whole game to do two things. One, they know Lipscomb's down a point guard, and two, down a player. You want to do whatever you can to maybe try to wear Lipscomb out, especially here in the first half.
Here's a three attempt by the Eagles. This one will be off the mark, but great rebounded by Alexander to keep things alive for FGCU. Roll directs some traffic, moves everybody away, drives, then pitches back, and another three off the mark. But then trying to get the rebound but couldn't pull it in was Holt, Taylor Holt. Yeah, that's sort of like when you know a team is down by a player. It's kind of like in football when they change out, get a defensive back hurt, and bring somebody in. You're going to throw at that guy all the time.
Yeah, you're going to go right at the weakness, and that's what good teams do, and that's what Florida Gulf Coast is doing here.
They doubled the score, 18-9. Florida Gulf Coast with the lead with 2 minutes or so to go here in this first quarter. Almost a steal. Now it is a steal, and then, well, FGCU got close to stealing it back, but Roll couldn't get it. So Lipscomb has it now to attack here with 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Vincent and Miller outside the arc. Now Hannah Richardson touches it down in the corner. She loses it off the dribble. Ball rolls away. Last touch by the Bisons, and so the Eagles will have it. And back in the lineup will come Molly Hurd for the Bisons, and Nay Staten will come in now for the Eagles. You'll see she just lost the dribble.
They've changed the call. They've changed the call because it did go off the heel, and that's a good job by the officials kind of getting together.
Watching the replay while the officials conferred and make the change. So Lipscomb will have it back with 1:47. 4 seconds on the shot clock, just a little over 4 seconds. They got to be alert to that. Here's Miller driving with two. It's a three, though, as she shot it from outside the arc and a little step back there, but she misses on it.
Yeah, now Lipscomb's got to find some other offensive players, though. Right now, it's just Michaela Miller and Molly Hurd are doing everything for Lipscomb. They've got to get some other players that have got to find a way to gain some confidence offensively.
Staten drives it and gets the two. Lipscomb's just hit one of their last 7. Haven't scored in 3 minutes. And we got 1:17 to go here in the half. And the ball knocked away out of bounds. Last touch by an Eagle. Lipscomb just 1 of 5 from outside the three-point line. While the Eagles are 3 of 8, they've hit 7 of 14 field goals. Lipscomb's only attempted 9, hit 3 of those. And the rebound advantage is 9-4 for Florida Gulf Coast. But the inbounds play there goes into Hope Counts, and she goes up and gets the 2.
That's a good way to create a little set play offensively. Now you're going to get an offensive foul, so Lipscomb maybe find a little momentum as Hannah Richardson's knocked over.
And it's good to see Hope Counts back on the floor after she had gone to the training table and I think got her ankle retaped or something done to it, but she appears to be okay after checking back into the lineup. This is big with 1:04 to play. Lipscomb here needs a big bucket and then needs to put a stop against the Eagles again, and the Eagles want to flip that, get a stop, and go get more points. So it's a pretty important minute for both these teams. Hope spinning down low, spins, turns, gets it.
Again, she's got the size, the height. She's got to understand she can have an advantage against most matchups just being a little aggressive offensively.
Eagles down to 14 on the shot clock. They'll feed it down low. Now kick it back out. We'll see if we get a three fired up here. Gordon with 3 seconds finds a player down in the paint. Struggling, ball blocked down there, and the shot clock violation. Taylor Holt just kind of blocked it down to the floor, and then a shot clock violation with 15 seconds.
Yeah,
good stop by Lipscomb.
Really good defense that time by Taylor Holt. And she's going to be one of the players that's going to have to step up for Lipscomb. Going to get more playing time with Elena Bertrand out for the year.
Hope spinning in the paint, wants to put one off the glass. Did, but a little bit too hard. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. FGCU's had control from the beginning. They lead it by 7. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and start the second quarter from the Music City. Florida Gulf Coast leads Lipscomb 20-13. We look over in the huddle of the Eagles, and we'll see a new face over there. They had an interim coach for half the season last year, but then Raina Harmon, who was an assistant coach at Iowa, was named as the 3rd coach in the program history, and she's the new head coach down at FGCU.
Yeah, and she's coming off of, I think, 8 seasons at Iowa where she coached a truly generational talent in Caitlin Clark. And so just a fantastic coach, comes with a big pedigree and looking to do big things at Florida Gulf Coast. Let's check back in with RJ Taylor. RJ was over listening in to Coach Harmon's huddle.
Yeah, I was over there, guys, and Coach Harmon really emphasized trying to contain Hope Counts at the free throw line. She's been dangerous inside of 8 feet here so far. They want to get to her. And another message is just communicate on defense. That's been lacking in her eyes.
Thanks, RJ. Hannah Richardson took a long 3, was away from everything, and Lipscomb couldn't get in position to get the rebound. So after having the ball to start the quarter, they're going to turn it right back over to FGCU. Douglas will direct some traffic for the Eagles. You know, this team in the past, Justin, played 5 out. Now they're playing more of the 4 out, 1 in offense.
It's definitely a different offense and different situation than we've seen for Florida Gulf Coast. Although Florida Gulf Coast 3-0 and a very good team, they played an incredibly tough schedule, second toughest schedule. I think it's going to be a different look Florida Gulf Coast team moving forward this year.
There's a step to the passing lane steal as Staten will go in off the glass, and 4 quick points to start this quarter for the Eagles, and they stretch their lead out 24-13.
Yeah, you just can't have those live ball turnovers outside the three-point lines. They're automatic points on the other end.
There's a shot in the corner, up and good. Hannah Richardson puts it in the book. You know, the Eagles in the past, it was nothing to think that every time down court they were going to fire up a 3, just over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly a new day, and I can tell you one of the reasons I know it's a new day is just looking at the roster. There's actually guards, forwards, no centers listed, but, you know, in years past, you know, Coach Smesco, he put S. Every player was a shooter. There was no positions, you were just a shooter. And that was true, and it was a 5-out offense. Every player was a shooter, and every player could knock down three-point shots.
Kind of sort of started everybody looking at analytics. Okay, how many threes can you shoot, miss, and all this happened? And they shot threes all the time. Lipscomb still has possession of the ball with 15 on the shot clock, and Kayla Miller's 3 off the mark to the right. The rebound comes out to the Eagles.
Eagles shooting 53% right now from the field. After starting 3 for 4 from downtown, they've cooled off just a little bit there. They're 3 of 8, but just too easy of a look right there.
Well, Serena Rowe, it was a skip all the way across court to her from the wing to the corner, but then she faked and drove the baseline and got that too, and it's back now at a 10-point lead for the Eagles. And a reach-in foul will be called. It'll be whistled on Karina Gordon, the junior out of Hallandale Beach, Florida. She transferred in from East Carolina. Spent 1 year there. Lipscomb will play it in. Olivia Vinson will do the honors just down from our broadcast position here in Allen Arena. Here on the campus of Lipscomb University in this ASUN matchup. Second week of play in the ASUN. We'll go over the standings and scores around the ASUN later. There's another steal, and again, it was a dribble that got lost. The steal's made, and the bucket at the other end by Roll, and she just rolled down the court to get that.
Yeah, Lipscomb's averaging 17 turnovers a game as a team, but we've seen the effects of not having Elena Bertrand out there because they've got 5 turnovers so far, and I bet 3 of the 5 have come just off of mishandled ball handling by the Bisons.
Down to 6 on the shot clock. There's a nice reverse layup put up and good there by Taylor.
Just unbelievable effort by Michaela Miller that time.
Yeah, I meant to say Miller. I don't know why I said Taylor. I was looking the other way, thinking the wrong way, wasn't I?
Taylor Bowen trying to clear some space down low for Miller to work. Michaela Miller, 9 points to lead the way for the Bisons.
Well, I talked to her before the game, too. Kind of looked at you, and I said, hey, you're going to have to step it up. And she agreed full-heartedly that it's going to take all these players stepping up now without Bertrand. And there's a pass into the paint. Hope Counts knows it as it slipped away from her, and it's picked up in another turnover against Lipscomb.
Yeah, I think she expected Taylor Bowen to be somewhere and just didn't even look when she passed it. And turnovers becoming a problem now for the Bison. 6, but more importantly, 11 points off of those 6 turnovers by the Eagles.
Douglas from the wing directing traffic, and now will work off a screen. A good switch there by Lipscomb. Long 3 off the mark, and the Lipscomb rebound finally picked up by Counts after the missed shot by Mortag. Anna Mortag out of Milwaukee missed on that shot. Taylor now, she's got the point. On the shot clock. Vincent sees a gap, drives, pushes it back to Counts for 3. No good. And then The Eagles, great job just screening out, had complete control of getting that rebound, and then quickly at the other end, they go inside, and the bucket's going to be good by Pillow. That's going to force another timeout by Coach Lauren Sumsky. Quickly up and down the floor there for the Eagles.
Yeah, just getting into their action quickly, and that'll be a timeout forced, and it'll take us to a media timeout. 12-point advantage for the Eagles. They're cruising right now here in Nashville as you watch ASUN basketball on ESPN+.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above. Where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark. Where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness. Where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
At Stephen & Associates, we're here to help you create a personalized wealth strategy so that you can maximize your wealth and enjoy life. Located in the heart of Nashville, our associates are experts in designing personalized wealth strategies for individuals, families, and businesses located anywhere in the United States. Take the first step in building your financial success by visiting our website at snawealth.com. Stephen & Associates is a proud sponsor of Lipscomb University and Lipscomb Athletics.
Yeah, but I'm going to get it done.
What are you going to get done?
Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are two regular guys, part of our community, just like you. Step into the Diamond District and you'll see this is their passion, their life.
We offer a vast selection of GIA certified diamonds, engagement rings, exquisite fine jewelry, pre-owned Rolex watches, and more.
Our non-commissioned sales team, who most of them have been with us over a decade, are here to help you, not sell you.
Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At Elite Sports Medicine, we do a lot of sports medicine, but in our mind, sports medicine is life.
We have patients of all ages, honestly, as young as 10, 11, 12.
So you come to us with a problem that you can't do the things you like to do, and our job is to find a solution.
Everything we do is geared towards taking care of the patient.
I think what really makes Elite different is that we have got the very best people we could find anywhere. I like my people to do good, and I just want to give them the very best care they could get anywhere in the world.
There she is, Elena Bertrand, who was injured in the game on Thursday night, and her season will come to a close. The Bristow, Virginia junior, played at Virginia Academy before coming to Nashville, and she had good spirits when I talked to her for the game, and but yet you could see from her heart and from the words she was said that she's, you know, it's just tough. It's tough when your season ends that way, and you have to sit on the bench and be there with it. There's Coach Lauren Sumsky, 7th season just as the head coach of the Bisons, and she's had to work through some seasons with injuries over her time of being here.
We saw Addison Melton, another starter who is sitting next to Elena Bertrand. She is out for the year with a shoulder injury. No secret that Elena Bertrand's is a knee injury. We saw it happen live. Everybody saw it and could tell she was in just a ton of pain. Maybe a little bit of optimism after the game because she was able to sort of walk back to the bench afterwards. But with knee injuries, you don't really fully know until you kind of go get them checked out. And after that, realized that it was going to be a season-ending injury.
And Addison made the decision over December that it was time to have the surgery. She just couldn't shoot, knew that's what she needed to do to get well and come back. It's just tough when you're down to 8 players. There's a foul there called against the Eagles. It'll be on roll. Lipscomb will play it back in. It was not a shooting foul. And now we've got another foul away from the ball. And this one's going to be against the Eagles. And that's going to be on Gordon, the junior.
A couple of things, 12-point lead, largest of the game for Florida Gulf Coast. You're looking at the stats. Eagles shooting 54%. Part of that because they're getting some fast break points and points off of turnovers, getting some easy looks. They've got 11 points off of Lipscomb turnovers, 11-0 in that category, and 7-0 in the fast break category against the Bisons, and they've got 7 more rebounds than Lipscomb. That's the one player that's been keeping Lipscomb alive in this game. Michaela Miller now in double figures with 11.
And that's just a roll in the paint and then just flip it up kind of backwards, and she's got really good control of that off the glass. Down low, the Eagles go. Shot won't go, but a rebound going to be pulled out, and Lipscomb will come away with it as Michaela Miller gets it after the missed shot there by the Eagles. That was put up down low by Moortown. And then Lipscomb's going to turn it over, lose the ball out of bounds again.
Well, Florida Gulf Coast has done a nice job against Molly Hurd. She actually doesn't have a shot in this game yet. Molly Hurd doesn't. She does have the 2 points from the free throw line, but they have limited her effectiveness so far in this game.
You know, oftentimes the scouting report knows exactly where to go, and we've said all season that Molly's going to be one of those players that they're going to focus on all year, as she got bumped pretty hard, but at least she's smiling and laughing over it as she's going to head over to the bench now. As checking in for her is going to be Hannah Richardson. Lipscomb coming in here with a record of 5-9, 2-1 in the conference. Florida Gulf Coast coming in at 7-7, 3-0 in the conference. Been a long time since we said Florida Gulf Coast just moved to dead even with their overall record, as they did, but they did play a very hard non-conference schedule. 4 on the shot clock. Douglas. Shot is blocked, and we get another shot clock violation. That is 2 called against the Eagles here in this ball game.
Michaela Miller she's giving it everything she can right now. She is just playing all out for the Bisons, and that was just great defensively. Knew that time Douglas was going to have to take a contested shot, and great length by Miller.
And this is where Lipscomb, if they can take advantage and get points, they'll get some confidence. If they continue to get those breaks and not score, then it's kind of hard on them because they haven't been able to get below this 10-point lead, and that 3 is off the mark, put up there by Vinson, and the rebound out to the Eagles.
Yeah, not much space in the perimeter right now to shoot the threes for the Bisons. I think Florida Gulf Coast just kind of daring Lipscomb to try to get inside the paint, try to beat them off the dribble, and they're not giving Lipscomb any space on the outside.
Roll on the drive. Her shot hits the rim underneath, and Lipscomb's got the rebound. They head the other way with just under 3 minutes to play here in this second period.
And Lipscomb's having trouble finding a post touch right now. Bowen's working hard, but just haven't found one until finally she makes a nice little cross cut there in the lane to get open.
The senior, Taylor Bowen, out of Carmel, Indiana, gets the 2 down low. Staten on the drive. Her shot, nothing but net. Went right into the paint, challenged the Bisons, went up and got it. Back out to a 10-point game with 2:20 to play here in the second period.
I think it's no secret if you're Lipscomb, you want this to be under 10, under double-digit lead for Florida Gulf Coast heading into halftime.
Hannah Richardson drives, gets in the paint, keeps backing in, and now puts a little soft shot up, but it was a little hard off the back of the iron, and the rebound out to the Eagles.
Yeah, not a bad look, though. I like Lipscomb attacking the rim. I think that's what they've got to do to try to loosen up this perimeter defense.
Nice feed from Alexander down low to Staten, and Staten with a chance for a 3-point play for FGCU.
A good high-low offense there by Florida Gulf Coast.
Staten out of New Jersey City up in New Jersey. Graduated from Townsend. She went to CCBC Essex in Townsend. Here as a 5th-year student. And her free throw in and out, no good, but a quick step to the paint, rebound by Alexander, and she gets the 2.
Yeah, you just cannot have an offensive rebound off of a missed free throw to lead into the points. That's a 5th offensive rebound right now, and 5 second chance points, and now almost another turnover on the perimeter.
And it's still loose at midcourt, and the Eagles come out with it. And on a 2-on-1 break, shot from behind, blocked by Kayla Miller. Wow.
Kayla Miller, she's just everywhere right now for Lipscomb.
Drive, couldn't get it off the glass hard enough. Zerlini just underneath the rim. We'll be at a minute to play here in this half as the second quarter will come to a close. And it's a 14-point lead for the Eagles. Make it 16 and a chance to stretch it out more. As the bucket's good and the foul called low will be on Taylor Bowen.
You see the skill level of Douglas right there. Just getting low, using her body, and then creating contact for the foul coming off that career high 24 against Austin Peay.
And the 62% free throw shooter gets the three-point play out of it. It's a 9-0 run over the last minute and 36 for the Eagles. They've stretched it out now to a 39-22 lead as we play into the final 40 seconds of this second quarter.
And really the exact opposite of what Lipscomb was hoping to have happen. And give credit to Florida Gulf Coast. Their defense has been suffocating against Lipscomb.
Well, I'll say this, down another player, Michaela Miller, who throws up a long three that won't go. She has really played hard in this first half. And the Bisons just running into a very fast-paced, hard run here by Florida Gulf Coast. Florida, and I'll tell you this too, they knew that streaks that they'd won 36 straight against Lipscomb too. That's not a secret around the ASUN. Down low with it, step through, nice move. Oh me, Eve Alexander. And that will be the end of the first half. 41-22 the lead. It is 11-0 run to end the half. We go to R.J. Taylor. He's got Coach Lauren Sumsky.
Now, Coach, how can you guys start to take advantage of FGCU mistakes in the second half?
They're not making too many right now. We're making a lot. We have to do a better job with our post defense. They're posting us up all over the floor. We just have to do a better job fighting for position and keeping them off the glass as well.
Miller is your leading scorer. How can you spread the wealth offensively?
Right now, it's a little tough. We're trying to work through, obviously, Elena going down and trying to get the ball moving some or get some pressure. So we just have to do a better job of getting better movement early on in possessions and then getting better action later on to end them.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, thanks.
41-22, FGCU is in front here at the break. Halftime here in Allen Arena. More halftime coverage is coming up next.
Halftime in Nashville, where Florida Gulf Coast leads it over to Lipscomb, 41-22. Jonathan Seaman along with my son Justin back courtside. Well, it's very easy to look at how this one ended here in the first half. In the second quarter, 11-0 run by the Eagles, and they hit 5 of their last 6, and Lipscomb just had a long scoring drought. And we see what has happened. They're down a player, down to 8 with Bertrand out, and just a big loss. And Lipscomb's got to find a way to get over that, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't make excuses. And I think that's one thing Coach Shulman-Sempsey's going to go in there and say, guys, we can't make excuses. We are where we're at, but we got to figure out a way to overcome it. And just wasn't good enough in the first half for Lipscomb. And it looked like there with about 2.5 minutes to go, it could turn a direction to kind of head positively for Lipscomb going into halftime. But really give credit to Florida Gulf Coast. They dominated that last 2.5 minutes, 11-0 run. And to me, Coach Sumsky said it, they were just really hurting Lipscomb in the post. 24 of the 41 points have come inside, which is different than what you're used to seeing for a Florida Gulf Coast team, but that's not for this new Florida Gulf Coast team. They want to be more versatile. They're going to still shoot some threes, but they hit early threes, but only 3 of 10. It was really the post presence that really dominated, and then the turnovers creating instant offense. Without Michaela Miller in that first half, Lipscomb, it would be a whole lot worse than it already is.
Yeah, they did a good job, Florida Gulf Coast, that is, to keep Molly Hurd out of it. But Michaela Miller, she came hard to play, but there was just a little bit, maybe a step ahead that the Eagles had in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, again, no excuses, but you could tell Lipscomb was trying to figure out, okay, without Bertrand, how do we run our offense? And, it's clear that Michaela Miller, it's going to, in a lot of ways, run through her. Now, Molly Hurd did not have a Molly Hurd first half. 2 points, but no shot. So she's going to definitely have to pick things up. Lipscomb's offense is going to have to evolve over this second half of the season without Elena Bertrand. That's for sure, and it's going to look different, and this is just the first game, and unfortunately, you're hitting the buzzsaw that is Florida Gulf Coast.
19-point lead by the Eagles. Let's see how they got there, but taking a look at our first half highlights from this game here in Nashville.
Yeah, early on, you saw Michaela Miller knock down that 3. She had the first, I think, 5 or 7 points, maybe in the first 7 points for the Bison. She ends up with 11 in the first half. She played all 20 minutes of that first half. She was gassed for sure, and they're going to need her more in the second half. But the Bisons just couldn't really find offense from anybody else. Hope Counts did have 4 points on a couple of back-to-back possessions. They do get the 3-point shot there from Hannah Richardson, but other than Michaela Miller, there just wasn't much to speak of offensively for the Bisons. She was it for Lipscomb. On the other side, again, early on, 3 for 4 were the Eagles from downtown, and I thought Nay Staten really had a great first half. She was 1 for 1 that you saw her 3-point. She had 13 in the first half for Florida Gulf Coast. They really, again, had some outside shots, but I really liked what they were doing mostly on the inside and then off of turnovers. They got 11 points off of Lipscomb's 8 turnovers, but it was a lot of that right there is what we saw in the
early
first half.
on, we thought it would be the 3-point shooting. They ended up just 3 of 10. That is FGCU, and the Lipscomb Bisons ended up 2 of 11. But there are other stats that tell the story, and we'll share those with you when we come back to Nashville. 19-point lead by the Eagles over the Bisons at halftime. Get all of ESPN college basketball all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock the ESPN Unlimited plan or log on with your TV provider. It's all of ESPN, all in one place. We're at halftime. Florida Gulf Coast leads Lipscomb 41-22. Let's take a look at the stats, and there are a lot of storylines within these stats as we look at them here, as the field goal shooting percentage 55-39, and the Eagles also shot 8 more times than Lipscomb.
Yeah, but they were getting more shots because they were creating turnovers and getting second chance looks. They out-rebounded Lipscomb, you see there, by 9 in the first half, and of those 9, 5 of the 18 rebounds were offensive rebounds leading to second chance points. And but to me, it was really the points in the paint and the turnovers and fast break points is where you kind of circle on the specialty stats. 11 points off of 8 turnovers for Florida Gulf Coast against the Bisons, and then they doubled up Lipscomb inside the paint 24-12. And then fast break, we talked about it, fast break points, you know, they're getting the ball and they're immediately attacking the Bisons. And then, you know, you look individually, Lipscomb just could not find a way to get anybody other than Michaela Miller going. She only had 11. She had 11 points, but nobody else more than 4 points for the Bisons.
Well, that's the stats, and here at halftime, FGCU leads at 41-22. Let's quickly take a look at the ASUN standings as they're into wrapping up the second week of play in the Atlantic Sun.
Yeah, Lipscomb split on the road last week. Unless this game drastically changes, it looks like Lipscomb could end up being splitting at home on the second weekend. Florida Gulf Coast, a strong start for them. Austin P, that was a tight game between Florida Gulf Coast and Austin P on Thursday night. And then EKU, look at them, 12-4 to start the year.
We'll be set for the third quarter when we return to Allen Arena on the Lipscomb University campus. FGCU has control out on top, 41-22. Let's check in with RJ Taylor. RJ?
Well, I caught up with Coach Harmon as she walked down the tunnel. Very impressed with Nay Staten in the first half. She said she's playing with a lot of freedom and confidence and has been very smart with the ball, taking a wide variety of shots. And then the momentum going from the end of the second quarter into the start of the third quarter. She said in non-conference play, their third quarter performances have been their worst quarter all season, so that's a big key for them. How can they play here in the third quarter as we move along in conference play? So we'll look out for that here the rest of the afternoon.
Plus, I think, Justin, it's going to be important to see what Lipscomb has. Do they come out flat? Do they come out, 19 points can be overcome, but it depends on how they play.
Yeah, Lipscomb's going to have to find a way to fight here for sure. 41-22, down by 19 against a great Florida Gulf Coast team, but you're going to have to find a way to just come out fighting. And I think that's what Coach Sumsey's going to be looking for here in the third quarter.
Something's going on. The official came over. They're looking at stats, as he said. There's something, I think, with the stats in the official book that they're doing some checking on, and then they're going to go back and look at it on video to see what happens.
I've never had the officials go back and look at the stats.
I've never had one come tell me we're looking at the stats. Now, I've had them tell me a lot of different things we've looked at, but I don't think it's ever that. But they've got a stat sheet.
The only thing I can say
it.
is we had about, 15 or 20 minutes at halftime. Why could we have not looked at the stats during the halftime instead of we come out of halftime and now we've got to go to the monitor?
I'm looking at my stats. I don't know that I could tell that there's anything, but I'm sure that's what they're trying to see. Was there some shot that went in as a 3, should have been a 2, or something along that line? I don't think they're getting.
Usually, though, that's
usually it's an.
They tell us
at the next time out,
yeah.
type thing. So that's what they're looking at as the.
Take a look at the scores in the A-Sun while we've got a chance, though. Halftime scores a couple of different places. EKU. 12-point advantage. West Georgia at home leading by 12, and then a tight one down in the Queen City and Charlotte, North Florida up by 2, and then of course Stetson and Austin P. They should be getting underway in just a couple of minutes, as well as Bellarmine in North Alabama.
I will say I have full confidence in Dawn Marsh and Shane Bennett and Phoebe Smith. They have had the sheet in their hand. They have worked with the video replay, and I got a feeling that Shane's going to come over and tell you exactly what they worked out, Justin. So he'll talk to him, and we'll get the details here. And that's a category I didn't think about. It's fouls, and that is an important one to know if you've got it right, too. So,
yeah, and I was trying to see which number 4 and which number, not sure, but they've got it right. They've got it sorted out. I know if it's Molly Hurd they're talking about, she did have 2 fouls in the first half.
I don't know if it was Gordon, whether they're looking at her or not, but we'll just keep an eye on it when it comes up on the board. So they've got it straight. Stats are ready. The book's ready. The points and the fouls are all right, and we are underway in the third. And a shot won't go, but a second chance with a rebound comes down for the Eagles. And that's what they've done such a good job of throughout the entire first 2 quarters.
They've almost doubled Lipscomb up on offense or on rebounds right now.
They went in, kicked it back out, down to 4 on the shot clock. The 3 is going to miss everything, so we're going to get a probably
foul on Staten, I think, on the offensive rebound attempt. It was,
and it was going to be a shot clock violation within a half a second before they called that foul. So Staten whistled for the foul. That's going to be her first, and the first of the third quarter here for FGCU.
Let's see what Lipscomb can do to get Molly Hurd going. Again, she had 2 points in the first half, technically no shots because the 2 came from the free throw line, but I don't know if there's been a half in her career where she's not registered at least a shot.
She has the ball on the wing, but then a quick feed to Hope Counts, and Hope ran over the player in the paint, and it's going to be a charging foul as she bumped into Jalea Pillow, who is from Columbia, Tennessee, but played at Colonial High School and then was at Eastern Florida State College last year. Comes in as a sophomore now for FGCU. Douglas runs the offense out top. Into the paint. There's a little shove, no call.
I mean, that to me, that looked
like
about the same amount of contact from the offensive player that you saw from Hope Counts just a minute ago.
And that was Pillow giving it back at the other end, but she didn't get a foul call. Deflected, almost stolen, but Vinson gets to it. Bowen has it with 10 seconds. Back to Miller, who will drive. Molly Hurd was open on the wing. They couldn't find her, and Miller's shot bounces off the iron, and here come Douglas pushing it up floor for the Eagles. Back out top with 10 seconds. Douglas moving a little bit with 5 seconds. Now here's a long three that's good. Put that one in the book for Nay Statelin. Had a big first half. She's now got 16 points in this ball game. 6 of 8 from the field, including 2 3-pointers and 2 of 3 at the free throw line.
Yeah, she's been the difference maker on the Eagles for sure. And now that's just not a great pass there. Fortunate it's not a turnover there. Trying to lob over the top to hope counts.
Miller shot too hard off the back of the iron.
And just every shot that Lipscomb takes is just so much effort to just get the shot off.
Ball thrown away under the bucket. And so Hannah Richardson will come in now for Lipscomb. The Eagles holding their largest lead after they've taken got 3 points here in this quarter to take a 22-point lead. Trying to work off a screen. Molly Hurd will drive, finds a gap, goes in. Her shot up off the side of the iron, no good, but counts there to get the rebound and put it in. That was the first attempt by Molly Hurd, but it goes to the wayside.
Yeah, and that was more what we used to seeing from Molly Hurd, is getting to the rim. Doesn't finish, but again, good things happen when you attack the rim.
Yeah, and you got the second chance points. And you'll see here some defense and slipping. That's almost like there's something slippery on that floor there as Miller went down as she drew her second foul.
Talked about fouls, and both these teams don't commit a lot of fouls. Only 10 combined fouls in that first half. Both teams had 5 apiece. These are the top 2 teams at not committing fouls in the A-Sun, as Douglas, nice little up and under move there.
Yeah, just a great move. As you said, up and under, she went right, then back left and got the points. Lead stretches out again. Here's Miller for 3. Put in the book 4. Big bucket for Michaela Miller, who's been the big gun for the Bisons here in the game. She has 14, only Lipscomb player in double figures. Ball deflected in the paint, but the Eagles keep control of it. Statelin thinks about a 3, but doesn't. She'll put it back to Douglas with 7 on the shot clock. Kicks it back out. Statelin thought about a 3, steps in, shoots a little 16-footer, gets the 2.
Yeah, she's just feeling it right now. 7 for 9 from the field.
18 points in the game. And there's going to be a foul down low called against Nay Statelin. And so Lipscomb will have the ball under their bucket with 5:38 to play.
Florida Gulf Coast 3 for their last 3 on the offensive end. They've been shooting pretty much over 50% for this entire game.
Hurd to make the inbounds. Does to Miller. She thought about that long 3. She likes to shoot it, but instead goes into Taylor Bowen, who misses on the shot but draws the foul. It'll be on Eve Alexander. Several of these players for the Eagles have a lot of relatives that are players. Like Alexander, her father was an All-American football player at Texas A&M, played then at LSU, went on to the NFL to play at Dallas and Tampa Bay. She had an uncle that played at LSU basketball and an uncle that played football at Northwestern. There's a lot in the bloodline there.
Yeah, you see that a lot in college, especially with you go down the family tree, and there's usually a lot of athletes that have gone before the players.
Taylor Bowen at the line, connects on her first one. She's going to get them both. She knows she struggled the other night against Stetson. She's at 500 for the season, but now 23 of 44 on the year. Lipscomb just needs to put together a little run here if they could. Here's a long 3. Won't go. by Moortag, but this is what the Eagles have done a great job getting the rebounds and getting second and third chances. Nice drive, and then the pass off. Shot won't go, but Moreland, she's there to get her own rebound, puts it up again. So Moortag got her on rebound, but couldn't connect. Here's Miller for three. In and out, no good. And a great rebound there by Alexander for FGCU.
Still the right look, though, for Lipscomb. Finding Miller in the corner. You want her taking that shot all day.
Soft little shot there by Gordon. And the junior from about 16 gets that too. And it's 50-29. Bowen directing traffic, gets it to Molly Hurd. It's cut off, she can't drive, but then as she feeds to Bowen, leaning over on her back will be Alexander, whistled for the foul. We're inside 5 of the third quarter, 4:24 to play. FGCU has outscored the Bisons 9-7 here in the quarter, lead at 50-29. FGCU still in control here, leading at 50-29. Well, last year about this time, the Eagles might have been on the beach down near Fort Myers, but for the Bisons 1 year ago today, it was cold and snowy.
It was, and we've had some unseasonably warm weather here in Nashville this week. I mean, I think this week it's been even in the 70s some now. I think that's about to change.
I think tomorrow.
I think tomorrow it's going to be back a little colder, not the snow, but
I don't think it gets out of doesn't even get in the 40s tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cold. So let's check in, though, with R.J. Taylor. R.J. was over seeing if they can figure out a way to get rid of some of this cold shooting for the Bisons, maybe.
Well, Coach Sumsky emphasized the defensive side of the ball, guys, and she really emphasized physicality, and she said last 7 seconds of the possession to really play lockdown defense on the shooters. So let's see how that plays out, and if FGCU can cool down a little bit.
Bowen shot off the mark. Thank you, RJ. And with it again, here comes FGCU. Oh, they have outshot the Bisons 21-41. Lipscomb 11 of 30. And there, a wide open break to the bucket, but it just
shot they've had
go.
all day, and that's the one they miss.
Molly just couldn't get it to go. There's a travel call against Molly Hurd. Been a tough day for Molly.
Yeah, this is really just only one shot attempt for Hurd. She's got 2 points from the free throw line. She does have one steal, which that's something that she, Leighton Jackson put it. I think she's had a steal in all but one game this year. She leads the team in steals coming in.
Yeah, she has 29 steals coming in, so that puts her at 30 on the year. Staten has 18 points to lead the way, only player double figures for FGCU. And Michaela Miller leads Lipscomb with 14, the only player in double figures. But there's that shot was down. I already put it in the book, and it jumped out of there. Wow, tough break there for FGCU. As the shot didn't go for Pillow. Now we'll get a second traveling violation against Lipscomb here in the quarter.
Yeah, I was looking at Nace Staten's numbers on the year. She is a fifth-year player, played a couple of seasons at CCBC Essex and then 2 years at Townsend before coming over here to FGCU. She's got a career-high 23 points. That was back in 2022, but this is a season high for her. 15 was her prior against Ave Maria. So 18 points a season high for her, and she's got time maybe to get a new career high.
Three attempt won't go, but Amali misses on it. Lipscomb's got the rebound.
Maybe the first time all game we've seen Florida Gulf Coast miss on 3 straight possessions.
Hope Counts got it down low, but her shot deflected away. Campbell pushes it to the wing for the Eagles. Drove baseline, kicked it back out. Good ball movement, and a 3 attempt will be in and out, no good. And Bowen's there to get the rebound. 4 of 15 from outside the arc now for FGCU, but they're setting on a 50-29 lead. They've missed their last 4 and hit just one of their last 8. They have had a chance for Lipscomb to slip in there, but Lipscomb hadn't scored in 3 minutes. I mean, you got to take advantage when you get those kind of breaks.
Yeah, when one team goes on a drought, you better go on a run if you're down.
Well, both teams are on droughts now. Lipscomb's is 3-11 and 2-21 for the Eagles. As trying to snap, that'll be Taylor Bowen, who goes to the line here to shoot a couple of free throws, and she connects on the first one. Bowen coming off of one of her better games, as Justin mentioned, having the double-double against Stetson. And that game against Stetson was probably one of Lipscomb's best, at least through the first 3.5 quarters. Things kind of changed a little bit down the stretch, and part of that was after Bertram went down with her injury.
I really thought it was Lipscomb's best overall game, quite frankly. They held Stetson to just 5 3-pointers, a team that averages double digits in threes. Just, I think defensively and rebounding, Lipscomb was locked in, and it just has gone kind of completely opposite here this afternoon for the Bisons.
Even with Bowen having that double-double in that game, her free throw shooting was off, but she's bounced back today. Right now, she's 4 of 4 from the charity stripe. And there the ball deflected, but Lipscomb couldn't come out with it. But as the shot clock is winding down, a long 3 won't go. And now the Eagles could reset it, but instead they go back to the rack and don't get it, and Lipscomb's got the rebound. Even 9-9 here in the third quarter with 1:41 to play, and Miller gives Lipscomb the advantage with getting that bucket inside the paint.
Miller has played every minute or every second, however you want to categorize it, of this game.
Alexander, or actually that's Jordan Campbell, who got in the paint and goes up off the glass and gets it. Campbell and Alexander, 23 and 21. Sometimes if I don't catch the full number on both of them because they favor each other a little bit, but both have played really hard down off the paint for the Eagles. Here's Bowen backing into the paint. Off the glass and good. Bowen now with 8 points for Lipscomb. Miller leads the way with 16. Meanwhile, when you flip the ledger over, it's Staten with 18. She's the only player in double figures, but there's another steal by Lipscomb. Coming out with it's going to be Zerlini. She thinks about the long three after the pass back, but she goes inside, counts off the glass. Won't go, but she'll go to the line to shoot a couple.
Good job, though, by Lipscomb. Getting the turnover, not forcing it, and then getting a good look by Counts down low. And I have seen the intensity level defensively pick up, though, for the Bisons.
You'll see the play here by Counts. You know, one other thing, though, Florida Gulf Coast, only one of their last 7, struggled a little bit with the drought, but with the little break, Lipscomb didn't get enough out of it. Right now, they have a chance to have a 3-point advantage with 30 seconds to go, but to really cut into the lead where they were down, you were going to have like a 10-point advantage.
And quite frankly, it's only a 3-point advantage because there's just been some bunnies that have gotten missed by Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, it was just kind of in and out layups that they missed that normally they were not missing.
They'll hold it for the final shot as they go inside. 10 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Staten spinning, driving, gets up with a shot, but it won't go, but she draws the foul with 2.6 to play in the quarter.
It was interesting what RJ got from Florida Gulf Coast head coach Raina Harmon about the third quarter, because this is the only quarter in this game so far that you've seen any kind of chink in the armor from Florida Gulf Coast.
Free throw, first one will be good by Staten. She's an 80% free throw shooter. She's actually missed one today. She's missed another one. Great line for her, though. 7 of 10 from the field as a long throw will hit off the side of the glass. She's 2 of 3 from three-point land. Now 3 of 5 from the free throw line, and 6 rebounds to go with it. And her team leads it 53-36. Back with the fourth quarter when we continue.
Welcome to the Atlantic Sun, where heart-pounding moments are born and where champions rise above, where speed defies limits and precision finds its mark, where millions of fans nationwide cheer for excellence, determination, and fairness, where public, private, and faith-based schools compete side by side, fostering sportsmanship and unity. From the beaches to the mountains, the Atlantic Sun is the destination.
At Stephen & Associates, we're here to help you create a personalized wealth strategy so that you can maximize your wealth and enjoy life. Located in the heart of Nashville, our associates are experts in designing personalized wealth strategies for individuals, families, and businesses located anywhere in the United States. Take the first step in building your financial success by visiting our website at snawealth.com. Stephen & Associates is a proud sponsor of Lipscomb University and Lipscomb Athletics.
Yeah, but I'm going to get it done.
What are you going to get done?
Jason and Todd with the Diamond District are 2 regular guys, part of our community, just like you. Step into the Diamond District and you'll see this is their passion, their life.
We offer a vast selection of GIA certified diamonds, engagement rings, exquisite fine jewelry, pre-owned Rolex watches, and more.
Our non-commissioned sales team, who most of them have been with us over a decade, are here to help you, not sell you.
Todd and I look forward to shaking your hand and welcoming you to our Diamond District family.
At Elite Sports Medicine, we do a lot of sports medicine, but in our mind, sports medicine is life.
We have patients of all ages, honestly, as young as 10, 11, 12.
So you come to us with a problem that you can't do the things you like to do, and our job is to find a solution.
Everything we do is geared towards taking care of the patient.
I think what really makes Elite different is that we have got the very best people we could find anywhere. I like my people to do good, and I just want to give them the very best care they could get anywhere in the world.
Take a look at the Upcoming schedule for Florida Gulf Coast University. They're in the midst of a 4-game road trip. They head to West Georgia from here, and then Queens. I'm sure they'll go home before they go there, but it's at least 4 games on the road. And then back home for Austin Peay, and these same Bisons will be there on January 24th. Then they'll be at Central Arkansas on January 29th. That's the upcoming schedule for the Eagles. Just looking at the stats, Justin, just some things jump out at you. Rebounding, what an advantage, 28-19 for the Eagles. Only 2 players in double figures, 1 for both teams. Michaela, as you said, played the entire game so far. Michaela Miller, 16 points, and 19 points for Staten, who's having kind of just a career game here today.
Yeah, Michaela Miller playing the entire game until now. She's getting a break on the bench to start the 4th quarter.
Well, she probably needed a little break, as shot inside by counts won't go. And then you look at turnovers, points off turnovers, 11 for the Eagles as they have a foul and a chance for a 3-point play down low now. As Pillow, good job going inside, drawing the foul. But they got 11 points off Lipscomb's turnovers. Lipscomb's picked up only 3 points in the paint. 28 points compared to 18.
But the difference in that 3rd quarter, why Lipscomb did have the 2-point advantage, was in the shooting in that 3rd quarter. Florida Gulf Coast only 5 for 17 in that 3rd quarter. They still had 7 more shots than the Bisons, though. And the other thing for the Bisons, they got to the free throw line. We'll take another timeout, though. Take a timeout in Nashville. 19-point lead for the Eagles.
I just finished up a video review. Justin will get the word on that. Meanwhile, we'll go to RJ. RJ?
Well, I was in the FGCU huddle during the quarter break, and as Justin alluded to, toward the end of that quarter, they were very disappointed with their performance in the quarter. Coach Harmon really emphasized defense in the post, being physical without fouling. That's a big message, and we'll see how that goes here in the 4th quarter and if they can get some momentum back.
Officials deemed it incidental contact, so they didn't upgrade that foul down there. So it'll be a one free throw on the and one situation for Florida Gulf Coast.
And Just a little bit too hard off the back of the flat part of the iron, and Lipscomb's got the rebound. Barely underway here in the fourth and final quarter of this game, and it's been FGCU from the opening tip. Here's Molly Hurd. She drives and spins, open, puts it up and gets it. Her first field goal of the afternoon, and she's got 4 points in the ball game. She's 1 of 2 from the field.
Almost traveling out there, but kept her foot on the ground. Did Gordon.
And it will be another steal for Molly Hurd. Knocked the ball away, the other end, off the glass and good.
Yeah, that's the Molly Hurd we're used to seeing, just defense into offense, and just not been her afternoon, but 4 quick points for the senior.
She's got 2 of Lipscomb's 4 steals. Lead is down to 15. Reverse layup won't go this time by Douglas. Largest lead was 22. Lipscomb's chipping away at it a little bit. Bowen tries to feed it through a couple of Eagles to get it to Hope Counts, and a timeout's going to be called by the Eagles. They had control down on the floor with 8 minutes to go here in the ball game, and a 15-point lead for FGCU. They'll call timeout. It'll be a 30-second one.
30 seconds.
Well, you learn a lot about officials and former players who are now coaches.
So they now turned it into the media, because the first one I think was the floater, and now you got a media timeout.
All right, we'll tell you about that story when we come back after this timeout. FGCU out on top 55-40. We'll take a timeout from Nashville. And the Eagles leading in this ball game. Well, waiting here, maybe we won't send it to break. Justin, the official to the left there is Dawn Marsh. What can you tell us about her?
Well, Dawn Marsh is one of the all-time greats in the University of Tennessee women's basketball. She played for the Vols and head coach Pat Summitt from 1984 to 1988. And I know that's 41 years ago because 1984 was the year I was born. But here's the thing. She helped Pat Summitt win her first ever national championship at the University of Tennessee. University of Tennessee's first ever national championship, 1987-88. And then Lauren Sumsky was Lauren Avant, and she played at the University of Tennessee. So Coach Marsh came over here and said, hey, I'm pretty sure your head coach played at the University of Tennessee as well. Do you know her maiden name? And I could not remember Lauren's maiden name. Had to look that up. But here's the thing about Coach Marsh, or not Coach Marsh, Dawn Marsh. Holds the record. University of Tennessee women's basketball. You think about the history of University of Tennessee. Record for assists, 755. Also has the single season record at 243. Single game record. She had 18 assists in a game against Georgia. Her assist average for a season, 7.1, and a career 5.7 are also Tennessee records.
And I bet as an official, she's had to get some assists too. Either assists from another official or give them some assists, one way or the other.
And what I was looking at a story, it's quoted, she said, I like to play the fast break game. Well, you think about fast break nowadays, fast break, that's very normal. But in 1987, that was not normal. In 84 and 87, was playing that fast break up and down game. And she, was getting honored with a Hall of Fame recognition in Knoxville, and said, I was really just fortunate I had players that could shoot the ball because you got to get the assist with the player making the basket.
You think about how many great players played for Coach Pat Summitt, or in my early days, we called her Pat Head and then Pat Head Summitt. And what a great coach, and great players have played there. And then Coach Sumsky will talk about what she learned being there at the University of Tennessee. And I'll tell you, Coach Pat Head Summitt and the person this floor is named after, Coach Don Meyer, became big friends, big coaching buddies, and shared a lot of things with each other. And there's a great story of when Pat Head Summitt was here in town and was visiting at Coach Meyer's house, and she ended up in the kitchen washing dishes. Now, Coach Meyer, he takes advantage of anybody he could, I guess, including a great coach, but they were dear friends. And it's great to have this story here today between the official Dawn Marsh and Coach Sumsky as the ball is taken away there by FGCU. Score remains the same, 15-point lead with 6.5 minutes to play in this one. Still playing with, now had 3 outside the line, and then the drive to the bucket by Douglas may have been deflected a little bit there, but Lipscomb comes away with it. I'd like to get this one under double digits, see if they can make a run of it here in the final 6 minutes. Over the top with it, went over the head of Bowen. She couldn't make the play, and coming out with it, Eagles go the other way.
There's about 8 minutes to go, and it's a 15-point game still. If you had got it down to 12-11 with about 6-7 minutes to go, you could start to put a little nerves on the side of Florida Gulf Coast.
Trouble is, Lipscomb's committed 3 turnovers, hadn't scored in 3 minutes, but the Eagles haven't scored in over 3 minutes, nearly 4 minutes, and Lipscomb just got another steal from them. They take that turnover, go to the other end. They need points this time to cut that thing down. See if they could get it inside at any point into single digits, and there's a turnover, a traveling call called against Molly Hurd, and it'll go right back to the Eagles.
That's called by Coach. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her coach, but Dawn Marsh, this is an article from back in 2017. I thought this was an interesting notation she made. She back in 2017, she taught PE in Duluth, Georgia, and moonlighted as a college referee, obviously still refereeing in college, but she related the verbal abuse that goes with officiating to Coach Summitt, saying it's all relative. I say, remember I had Pat yelling at me, Marsh said. There's nothing like that. So she was used to getting yelled at by Coach Summitt. So becoming a referee in college, she said the abuse she gets from some of the fans, really nothing to it.
That was a nice rebound there, but the bucket wouldn't go for Alexander, and then it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lipscomb as Hannah Richardson was going after it. I will say this. I did a lot of work in the old Trans-South Conference and with Commissioner E.L. Hutton. He used to tell me what we've got to do, because it was getting hard to get basketball officials. He said great players need to become basketball officials. Basketball players need to turn into basketball officials. And
Don Marsh was a great player for sure.
It's good to see that. Good to see him on there as officials. Long three won't go this time for the Eagles, and Vinson's got the rebound for Lipscomb. And she'll cross the midcourt stripe, inside 5 to play. As Molly Hurd to the bucket, but they won't count it. They'll wave it off. She's going to be called for the offensive charge. We'll look at this again most likely, and you will see what happened as Molly trying to. That would have been a big bucket if she could have got it and a three-point play, but look at the charge.
Yeah, and just a good call by the officials, because player of the game so far, Nay Staten, was right there.
Had her position in place, held it while Molly ran into her.
Both teams. Florida Gulf Coast hasn't scored in over 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I mean, this would have been the spot for Lipscomb to have tried to find a way to crawl back into this game, and right on cue.
Well, before that bucket, Lipscomb had scored 4 points in this fourth quarter, only 2 for the Eagles, and now they're dead even at 4 apiece. And it's back to a 17-point game, and another turnover by Lipscomb will give it back to the Eagles. Lipscomb now with 17 turnovers in this ball game. They trail by 17 with 3:35 to play. Unless something big happens, that number's going to move from 36 to 37, meaning straight wins by the Eagles, and Lipscomb is yet in their history to have defeated Florida Gulf Coast if this holds up.
Well, and again, it's not only going to be that, but there hasn't been even a single-digit win for Florida Gulf Coast. I mean, that to me is what's incredible.
Counts and Holt back on the floor for Lipscomb as Molly Hurd and Bowen will check out, 2 seniors. At the line will go Eve Alexander, the sophomore, played at Lafayette Christian Academy and then went on to Florida A&M. She's an 86% free throw shooting, a great free throw shooting team. Florida Gulf Coast, she connects on both of them. You know, it's amazing what just a couple of percentage can do in your shooting, too. It only takes 3 or 4 percentage to make you better than another team. Rebounding, these two teams are pretty much the same. 36.3 for Lipscomb, 36.1 for FGCU. But in the game today, FGCU with 32 rebounds, Lipscomb only 24, as the fadeaway shot won't go there. And leading by 19, crossing the line will be Campbell. Over to Alexander. She tries to feed it down low to Staten. And the pass is off the mark. That'll turn it over, and Lipscomb will bring it the length of the court with under 3, 2:47 to play. Lipscomb's had like 6 turnovers in the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, there's been no way for Lipscomb to get any continuity on offense.
Well, they hadn't scored in 6 minutes. Can they break that? Now the shot by Hannah Richardson won't go, and so the scoring drought continues.
And I told you in those 36 games, the average points in those 36 games for the Bisons was only 51 points. Florida Gulf Coast, that's the thing that was always, you know, if you didn't watch Florida Gulf Coast like we did over the year, you would think, oh, this is just a great offensive team. Coach Smesko for Florida Gulf Coast, who coached there for years, always had a great defense. Their defense was almost as good as their offense, and you couple a great defense with a great offense, that's why they won so many ASUN championships over the years.
Yeah, since Lipscomb got in the ASUN, and since Florida Gulf Coast in the ASUN, Lipscomb's never beat them. That goes back to Coach Frank Bennett, goes back to Coach Greg Brown, and into Lawrence Humsky. I mean, this crosses long lines here. 59-40. They call a quick little timeout just to get some players off the bench.
Now this is just
all the regulars and starters
I will
going
say,
out.
I think this is just the third time, I will say. I think it's the third time, maybe the fourth. I can't remember if they played in the tournament last year, but this is just the third time Lipscomb has played against a non-Carl Smesko coached Florida Gulf Coast team. So you would hope and think that in the future it might change.
And let's not forget, he dominated the ASUN.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just Lipscomb. Now, I think he did have the best record against Lipscomb, but he was dominating, and the Eagles have dominated the ASUN for all those years.
Here's a long three. Put this one in the book off the bench. Era Levy out of Nelsonville, Ohio, who just hit her 6th three-pointer of the year. And it's 62-40. Lead is back out to 22. Lipscomb got it to 15, but they've gone over 7.5 minutes without points. And there's another shot that goes to the wayside. As we're inside a minute, 48 seconds to play. Our post-game wrap-up will be coming up at the end of this one. R.J. Taylor will talk to Coach Lauren Sumsky as we'll wrap this one up coming up at the end of the ball game. Lipscomb's got games ahead of this. They will be headed on the road to Eastern Kentucky, to Austin Peay, and to Stetson and Florida Gulf Coast. 4 road games ahead for the Bisons. They'll leave the friendly confines of Allen Arena, go on the road for 4, and today, with this game, they will see their conference record to even up at 2-2, while Florida Gulf Coast will go to 4-0, remain tied at the top of the league, and they will go to 8-7 on the year, and Lipscomb will drop to 5-10 on the year. We'll throw up that schedule as they're shooting these free throws if we can, as you'll see Eastern Kentucky, Austin Peay, and Stetson, and Florida Gulf Coast. These road series, as Coach Sumsky's got to figure out how to win on the road and to do it with just 8 players now, after Bertrand had a season-ending injury on Thursday night to go along with Addison Melton. And then they will be back home for Jacksonville coming up on the 29th of January. We'll have the 29th and 31st, as Lady Bisons will have Jacksonville and North Florida coming in here. Spin off the glass, and it's good. It took them 8.5 minutes before they got that bucket, Justin.
Wow.
And here in the fourth quarter, they score only 6, and the final score will favor Florida Gulf Coast. The streak remains 37 straight wins against Lipscomb. They win this one here today, 63-42, winning it by 21 points. Their largest lead was 23.
Player of the game for sure for Florida Gulf Coast, Nae Staten, 21 points, 8 for 13 shooting, 2 for 3 from downtown, 8 rebounds. It's a season high. She's just 2 points off of a career high for Florida Gulf Coast, as the Eagles fly high this afternoon. 11 for Alexander as well. She had 8 rebounds too. Michaela Miller gave it her best effort, 16 points to lead the way for Bisons, 7 for 17 from the field, 2 for 7 from downtown.
Eagles will continue their 4-game road trip. Lipscomb will get ready for a big road trip when we get back to basketball next week in the ASUN. Post-game is coming up next. Florida Gulf Coast wins it over Lipscomb, 63-42.